All right, here are the correct answers for directed reading A on the changes in climate DR. So this is chapter 3, section 4. First one, why would you not notice a change in climate? Because it changes so slowly. Remember, climate takes long time to really accurately judge. So it's hard to tell when the climate is changing and it's not just, a change in the weather. Two factors that can make the climate change: human activities, and also there's a lot of natural factors too. Ice ages are one example of when our climate on Earth was different than it is today. So it's a period when ice collects in high latitudes and moves to lower latitudes. That's an ice age. And for a glacial period is when when the huge sheets of ice advance and cover large areas. So like most of North America, most of the United States was covered in ice during the last glacial period. One interesting thing is the sea levels drop during glacial periods because so much of the water is frozen. Then the sea levels drop, which means that there's, like the water goes down, water level goes down. An interglacial period it's during an ice age, but it's when the ice sheets melt. So actually right now we are in an interglacial period of an ice age. You are living in an ice age right now. But we're in the interglacial period. And the reason we know that is because there is year-round ice at the poles. So it's an ice age. The Milankovitch theory for number 7, it's changes in Earth's orbit and the tilt of the Earth's axis cause ice ages. We'll go into that Milankovitch theory. It's very interesting to me. 8, the difference in Earth's climate when the Earth's orbit changes from elliptical to when the orbit is more elliptical, Earth receives more energy. So this kind of narrow orbit here, that's elliptical. And this circular one, that's circular. But when it's in an elliptical orbit, the Earth receives more solar energy. Pangea was when 250 million years ago, all continents were connected near the South Pole in one giant landmass. So since all these continents were connected, different climates throughout the planet. Volcanic eruptions are one of the things that could lead to a change in the climate, because dust, ash, and smoke from the eruption block some of the sun's rays. So there's so much debris in the atmosphere that the temperatures get cooler because the sunlight can't get through. It's kind of similar with an asteroid impact. When the asteroid crashes down, it sends so much debris up into the atmosphere that it blocks the sunlight, which lowers temperatures. Plants will die. Animals that eat those plants will die. It causes a lot of changes in climate. The sun's cycle is another reason that the climate can change. The sun kind of goes through seasons, and the seasons are called solar maximums and solar minimums. And during a solar maximum, the sun produces a large percentage of high energy radiation. So there's lots of these explosions going off on the sun. And in a solar minimum, the sun produces a low percentage of those explosions. So it's kind of like seasons, although the pattern, the cycle of solar maximum to solar minimum lasts about 11 years. And solar maximum warms the wind. It affects the climate patterns around the world. Global warming is the gradual increase in average global temperatures due to a higher concentration of gases such as carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. 16 is the greenhouse effect. 17, clearing of forests. That releases more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere since plants use carbon dioxide to make food. So when we cut down the trees, trees take carbon dioxide out of the air, and when we cut down the trees, there's not that the air contains a lot of carbon dioxide. 3 possible consequences of global warming. The ice caps could melt, causing flooding. Deserts might receive even less rainfall than normal, which would change the habitats for plants and animals. And crops could be harmed by water in drier climates, which would cause food shortages. All bad news. All right, those are the answers, the correct answers for this DR. Make sure you make any corrections you need.